Well, I had an uncle who was named Chalice was his name. He's older than my father. We called him Jelly. Uncle Jelly had a shop in Newcastle, a Merrilees Electric. So Dad had to differentiate himself from his brother. In Newcastle on the south side, a company called Merrilees Electric. Merrilees Electric was an appliance person. I mean, you know, when you get back into the 40s, of the radios, washing machines, everything that had a plug on it went through the electric shop. You went to an electric shop to get it and buy it. You went to the electric shop and get it repaired. And that electric shop was Merrilees Electric. Mr. Merrilees wanted to retire. So Dad made him some kind of a deal to take over his shop, and that became my dad's shop, and we also sold all the rest of the stuff that had a plug. As long as it had a cord and a plug, they had it. And Mr. Merrilees had retired. They didn't work together at all. They were just friends. He retired. Dad and Webb went into business. Webb Wisebaker, great guy, but he knew more about line work and heavy work, working on poles, and so that's where the ability to work together came. They each had different ideas. Yeah, it was right after World War II. I was born in '42, so, you know, we just got our 75th recognition from NECA. I know Dad was in business before that, but I don't know how many years. He was in Pearl Harbor. He went in there as an employee of the Navy and worked on shipboard for, I don't know, 2 to 3 years until he came back home.
He was a hard worker, pretty serious guy, pretty serious.
He was a great guy. We used to remember going to camp with him and doing a lot of different things. He always had a project going, so he always kept you busy. And he always had a plan, and there was always something for us as young boys to keep ourselves busy and out of trouble doing for him.
Well, I think one was his work ethic. He and my grandmother, they were just hard workers, grew up through the Depression, and were taught hard work from a very early age. And then the people they surrounded themselves with, they treated as family, and they really cared about them. And the converse was those people really cared about them too.
Actually, the way he met my grandmother was he came to their house for an electrical service call, and she apparently thought he was pretty cute and ended up stealing his tools. So he would have to come back to get them. So he came back to get them, and kind of the rest is history.
So our grandmother ran what now is called the PSC, then it was called either the farm or the warehouse. And I think I was 3 and Jay was 4 when she started taking us down there in the summer for maybe an hour in the afternoon, and we would sort condolettes into various bins. She'd put one of each size, and she'd tell us to sort them, and we did. That's how we grew up, and she had a garden beside it, so it depended on the day. We might get a quarter from her for helping out, or we might get a cucumber out of the garden.
She was intimately involved with our warehouse facility. She knew every part, every piece, every tool, where everything was, and everyone knew that they could call her to get an idea of where things were and make sure they could get it when they needed it.
This will be a Jay and Jonathan story. When they ran down there, we had a gentleman who had been the manager of the service center. He enjoyed having Jay and Jonathan down there working, and Mac always paid them. And one day they crossed the street and Jonathan was running up to the house. Mac paid him a quarter for him and a quarter for Jay. He was by himself. He ran up through the yards. He got home and he looked at his mother and said, "I got paid." You know, he was really excited to get the quarter. And he opened his hand up and there was only 1 quarter left in it. And Jonathan looked at it and said, "I lost Jay's quarter." So Jonathan has owed him a quarter for years. We had a lot of industry in the area, Rockwell Industry, they were the cement plants, just the ones I can remember offhand. but there was a lot of heavy industry in the area. Sharon Steel, I mean, just one after the other. You could name them if you go back and take a list, but it's just busy.
Yeah, in the 60s and 70s, we added our transportation group, which at that time was our heavy highway team, and we started doing more and more work of that type nature, along with all the heavy industrial and commercial work that we did as an organization at the time as well.
It was just one of those things that Jay wanted to do this. He came to the company to run the tower work that had just begun, his tower work. And then he just went in from there to, hey, Dad, do you mind if I come over and help this group? And then it was a year or so, two later, whatever it would be, hey, Dad, do you mind if I go over and help this group? And pretty soon, he was helping every group in the company, and I was having to find other things to do. And, you know, as he brought his brothers on board, I mean, it just got better and better management. I'm not the greatest manager in the world. I tell people what to do, but most of the time it's in the wrong way I tell them.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, we undertook an effort to really transform ourselves from being the more traditional family business to the professional family business. And not that we weren't professional before, but we wanted to transition into a level that could sustain us for the future and really help our team grow and help our company grow.
I started out here as a project manager, and in the projects and the type of work that we would develop and tackle started to progress and started to really grow into a lot more complex projects. We were winning more complex projects that were quite a bit more challenging to work on than some of our competition would take on. So that started the ball rolling with respect to that. But yes, I believe, you know, in that it was a calculated, hey, we need to continue to look at these opportunities, these larger opportunities, and continue to grow.
Yeah, we like the family business feel very much. We think it's very important to the success of the team that we have and to our company. We had a vision many years ago that we would continue to grow as an organization. We're to a point now where we've exceeded those expectations, which is really fantastic because it all came by the hard work of our team. Our people do tremendous jobs on a daily basis. You know, and the sacrifices they make to help our customers get the services they need is just tremendous. And you see the sacrifices made both individually to get work accomplished in a safe, high-quality professional manner, and then also by the families that support them. Because so many of our team travel. We go distant places to do all kinds of different projects. And without a good support network, maybe back at home, wherever it may be to help support those individuals to be successful, it's tough to do that. It's tougher than the work itself. So I know we really appreciate all the families that support our team because that together makes this family business, I think, really special.
Our team is amazing. It truly is. There's even at times when I think, how are we ever going to pull this together? How are we ever going to do this? And then it comes together even smoother than you would expect it to. Our team never ceases to just make me realize how fortunate and lucky we are to have a team like that in our business, and because they are truly what make the business happen.
It becomes infectious. You know, a snowball can roll one way or the other, and I think when you get enough people with the right culture that want to help each other, that want to work together, that want to support each other, that are willing to lay down their personal needs at times for the betterment of the team, to help others, you either get pulled along with that momentum or you don't.
I mean, I think everyone's there really to help one another out. It's like, even if I have a challenge, I always feel like there's someone else I can go reach out to help me overcome a challenge or an obstacle. And it's like everyone pulls together in the same direction. That's why it's such a great place to work. We've had our challenges, but the challenges are easier because we all face those challenges together.
That really sums our team up. You know, our team travels. We have a lot of guys that are traveling out of town. You know, our geographic footprint is the entire state of Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and these guys are traveling, and it allows them to become closer. They look out for one another, and they want to make that customer happy.
Yeah, every individual job within our organization has a purpose, and everybody has a purpose. And whether your purpose is to do one particular set of tasks and have one set of responsibilities or another, each one's important. Every role that we have is critical to making our organization successful, and has been for so many years.
When it takes all those moving pieces truly to move it, right? There's never one person that does one thing that changes everything. It's a team environment, and I think when you look back at our one team core value, it's truly woven into the fabric of our team.
Our job, any of us that aren't turning a wrench, we're support people. And so our whole purpose is to make sure we support our field teams and can keep them working safely, efficiently, servicing those clients.
I like to take a lot of pride in the office, whether it's HR, accounting, the IT department, our primary resource is there to support the field. And what's really gratifying is when we get that acknowledgement back from the field and they realize the project coordinators have done a great job, or they couldn't have done what they needed to do if they didn't have the support of HR or safety or IT getting the tablets and the different things that they need. I mean, it's just amazing how everyone works together. The field relies on us and we rely on the field.
There's a strong office person that supports it, that makes sure they get all the information that they need, the tooling, delivering the products. Our PSC team does a great job in getting the equipment, tools, materials to our teams, sometimes driving in the middle of the night or leaving on a weekend or very early in the morning. And our tool team does a great job at getting those products and making sure that they're ready, that when a tool arrives on a job, that it works.
In the type of work we do, we get a lot of curveballs thrown at us. And sometimes those are every day, sometimes those are every couple weeks. And our team's really able to adapt well. They're able to do things to overcome the challenges that are thrown at us. And it's kind of part of how we do things as an electrical contractor. But we're given those challenges, and our team just does amazing things with those challenges when it's thrown at them. So many times you see something that's brought up by a client and they bring something up that you think, wow, that's going to be really difficult to accomplish. And our team comes up with the solution. And then they're able to actually deliver that solution. And they're able to give that customer what they wanted. It may be even a little better than what they wanted. And it really makes it an exceptional experience.
They have a lot of ability to innovate as they're working, and they're working towards getting those items accomplished in that safe manner. So they're evaluating constantly what they're running into, because it's not the same as it is on paper.
And because you have that support, you have that depth of knowledge and that depth of experience, when you look across our team, from the youngest team member we have, that perhaps a project engineer that's just getting started but just came out of school, with all the new, interesting, and developed technology ideas and exposure, to our most seasoned, whether it be estimator, project manager, superintendent, foreman, that have that so much knowledge built in. You think about the ability across that entire team of knowledge and work experience and energy level, that there's nothing we can't build.
I see great things still coming. We have a lot of young, project people that have joined our team recently. We're growing, and it's just right now I personally see it as a really exciting time at Bruce and Merrilees. We have great people behind us. We have opportunity. We've proven we can overcome challenges, and we've been successful, and we continue year after year now. We've continued to grow.
Well, it's exciting to see whether it's a new technology or a new type of work that we get into is always exciting to see. But what's really exciting is watching team members get really excited about it, or bringing it to us and then laying out a plan for how are we going to take this on? How are we going to approach this? That could be growing into a different market or a new client or a type of work. Whatever that might be, that's what's exciting.
We've adapted to changing times for the first 75 years, and that's going to continue forward for many years to come.